Het is tijd voor de eerste medal, de eerste award, namelijk die voor de vrijheid van meningsuiting. En we zien hem uitgereikt worden door de heer Ehsan Tourabbas en hij is honorair consul van Afghanistan in ons land.
Freedom of expression is the cornerstone of democracy and peace. It is central to the individual freedom of every man and woman. It stands for the ability of society to openly discuss the changes in aspiration. It allows a nation to instigate the necessary change while still preserving stability. I have the distinct honor to present the Franklin Delano Roosevelt Freedom of Speech and Expression Medal to Ms. Maryam Durani for unyielding courage and unbending commitment to freedom of speech and expression in Afghanistan. Born and partially raised in the ancient city of Kandahar, a city that has been plagued by the violence of war during the past 3 decades. You have refused to give in to the forces that would deny you the right to speak out publicly about the needs and concerns of women. Determined to see that the women would become part of the political process in the new Afghanistan, you made the courageous decision to run for a seat in the Kandahar Provincial Council in the 2005 election. At just 21 years of age, your victory in the election brought the twin benefit of providing the council with a both youthful and feminine perspective on how this region could put its turbulent past behind and look forward to the future of peace and reconciliation. Since that fateful day, you have not only won re-election to the council, but have been joined by the other women members in making sure that your voice are not only heard, but respected. Thanks to your effort, democracy has been strengthened in the region, and the rights and concern of women across the province are slowly gaining greater acceptance among the people. But your efforts to help the women of the region have not been confined to the working of government. You have also chosen to work outside the government to reach out the people directly. In 2004, you found the Kodaija Cobra Association for Culture, a non-profit organization decided to gender equality and inclusion of women in Afghan society. The association provides literacy and other educational classes for women, as well as a child care and public health program. You also offer training in skills that will generate women's income out of the conviction that the greater economic power will not only help women support their family, it will eventually translate into political power. To make sure that the women of the Kandahar have a voice, you also launched Maryam, the first and only female woman-owned and managed radio station in province. As former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton recently noted, the establishment of woman, which translated means woman, has made it possible for you to amplify the broadcast the concern of women across the entire region, helping to break down barriers and bring the community closer together. Instead, there is no question that the pushing women's rights is a dangerous occupation in Afghanistan. Many of your fellow activists have been attacked and killed over the years, and you yourself have survived numerous assassination attempts, including a suicide attack that left you seriously injured in 2009. Eleanor Roosevelt once said that we must know that we think and speak out, even at that risk of unpopularity. Your Majesties, Royal Highnesses, Honorable Lawrence, Your Excellencies, and distinguished guests. Mrs. Durani exhibits qualities that make us proud and inspire us. Individuals like her let us believe in a bright future of Afghanistan as the country finds itself at a critical point in time. Mrs. Durani, we are here today to honor you on behalf of the Roosevelt Institute with a Medal for Freedom of Speech and Expression. to pay tribute to you and thank you for your courage and sacrifices, for the change you brought and hopefully will continue to bring to the lives of Afghan women and their sons and daughters who are, as we speak, being raised in the knowledge, awareness, freedom, and responsibility to speak and express oneself. We thank you for being such an inspiring example for the next generation that will mold a better future for Afghanistan and for the rest of the world. Thank you.
Voor het omhangen van deze medal, award voor de vrijheid van meningsuiting, zal de heer Tourabbas worden geassisteerd door Tracy Roosevelt. En dat is inmiddels een achterkleinkind van president Roosevelt. En het bedankwoordje straks van mevrouw Durani zal worden gehouden in het Farsi. Dat is haar eigen taal uit Afghanistan, dat mag duidelijk zijn. En er zal een simultaanvertaling zijn, zodat de mensen in de kerk, maar ook wij het allemaal kunnen volgen.
اعلی حضرتین، والا حضرتین، عالی جنابان، نخست وزیر، مهمانان محترم، خانم‌ها و آقایان سلام.
Your Majesties, Your Royal Highnesses, Your Excellency Mr. Prime Minister, honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen.
مفتخرم که در جمع شما دوستان می باشم و خرسندم از اینکه در این محفل مرا افتخار بخشیدید و مستحق جایزه 4 آزادی دانستید.
It is a great honor for me to be amongst you today, and I am extremely happy that you have given me the great honor to have determined me worthy of receiving the 4 Freedoms Award.
امیدوارم که در رابطه با فعالیت‌های من از طریق رسانه‌های جمعی آشنایی داشته باشید. با آن همه خواستم چند مطلب را در این باره در خدمت شما عزیزان توضیح نمایم.
I do greatly hope that through mass media you are already familiar with some of my activities. However, I deem it necessary to bring to your kind attention a few of the things that I am involved in.
باید گفت که مشکلات در پیشروی یک فعال حقوق مدنی زن و عضو جامعه مدنی در ولایت کندهار به 1 یا 2 مشکل محدود نمی شود. بدین مفهوم زنانی که فعالیت‌های مدنی دارند زمانی که از منزل خارج می‌شوند و نمی‌توان گفت که امید به بازگشت هست یا خیر. این یک تصویر کلی از محیطی است که من در آن فعالیت دارم.
Ab initio, I must say that the problems that we have, meaning an activist for the rights of women and a member of the civil society in the province of Kandahar, are not limited to 1 or 2 problems. That is to say that women who are involved in such activities, once they leave their house, they are never sure that they can return safely. This is a true picture of the environment in which I am active.
نخست در سال 2004 من فعالیتایم را با ایجاد سازمانی به نام انجمن فرهنگی اجتماعی خدیجه کبری آغاز نمودم. در این نهاد من کوشش در ظرفیت سازی قشر زن و مبارزه با محو بیسوادی و فقر نمودم. در کنار آن برای بالا بردن سطح آگاهی زنان در قسمت‌های حقوق آنها برنامه‌ها و ترینینگ‌ها دایر کردم و با ایجاد بازارهای موقتی و کورس‌های سوادآموزی و تشویق خانواده‌ها برای اجازه ادامه تحصیل دختران در مکاتب رسمی فعالیت زیادی نمودم. همچنین کورس‌های آموزشی ما مختلف از جمله صنایع دستی در تقویت اقتصاد زنان و خانواده‌هایشان بوده است.
First, in 2004, I started my activities through the establishment of an organization called the Khadija Kubra Women's Association for Culture. And in this entity, I tried to build capacity for the stratum that includes women. I tried to find against illiteracy and poverty. And parallel to that, I tried to raise the awareness of women with regard to their rights. I also established programs and trainings, and I also tried to create temporary markets for women, training courses for them, including creating handicraft in order to strengthen the economic situation of women and their families.
زیرا از نظر من سرزمینی که زنانش بیسواد باشند مرگش نزدیک است. گرچه در طی این سالها من با حادثات و تهدیدات زیادی روبرو شدم، از جمله می توانم برایتان یادآور شوم در سال 2009 من 2 حادثه انتحاری را پشت سر نهادم، اما این حادثات نتوانست مرا از ادامه راهم باز دارد. در حضور من و با حضور من بعد از تداوی زخمایم در جامعه باعث تقویه روی دیگر زنان و نیرو بخشیدن به فعالیت‌های آنان گشت.
I tried to eliminate illiteracy because I believe that if you have a country in which women are not literate, that country will be close to its demise. Although I have gone through a lot of accidents and threats during these years, I have never been deterred from activities. In 2009, I had 2 attempts on my life and I was seriously injured. However, when my injuries were better, I started my activities again, and this also boosted the morale of other women and promoted their activities.
و من احساس نمودم برای اینکه فعالیت‌های من جامع‌تر شود نیاز بود به یک وسیله ارتباطی وسیع‌تری که همزمان مرد و زن مورد تاثیر قرار دهد، چون به خاطر مشکلات و موضوعات عنعنوی منطقه امکان حضور زنان و مردان در یک مکان ممکن نبود. به همین دلیل بهترین گزینه رادیو بود. در 8 مارس 2011 من رادیویی را به نام من رادیوی زن را بنیاد نهادم.
In order to make my activities more comprehensive, there was a need to have access to a more extensive communications network, which could at the same time include and have an impact on both men and women. Because of the existing problems, however, and also the wrong customs in the area, it was not possible to have men and women together in one place. And therefore, I thought that the best option would be a radio station. Therefore, on the 8th of March 2011, I started a radio station called Mir Man. It was dedicated to women.
که دارای برنامه‌های حقوقی، اجتماعی، فرهنگی، سیاسی و تفریحی میباشد. از این طریق توانستم صدایمان را به گوش هزاران زن و مرد افغان برسانیم و از طریق برنامه‌های حقوقی آموزشی برای به دست آوردن 4 آزادی تلاش نماییم و با تبعیض مبارزه کنیم و باعث تغییر افکار در جامعه بگردیم. همچنین با رسم و عنعنات غلط موجود در جامعه مبارزه نماییم. ما توانستیم تا خانواده‌ها دیگر با آرمان‌های مشترکی برای پسران و دخترانشان بیاندیشند. ما توانستیم که از طریق نشر پروگرام‌های حقوقی رادیویی با دریافت تلفن شنوندگان و ارائه راهنمایی و مشاوره از ده‌ها ازدواج اجباری و زلزله جلوگیری نماییم.
This radio station has different programs such as legal, societal, cultural, political and also entertainment programs. And in this way, we could have our voice heard by thousands of Afghan men and women. Also, through teaching women their rights, we could teach them the 4 freedoms to fight against discrimination and also to bring about a change in the mindset of society. And also we could fight against the wrong customs in society, and also we could make families understand that they have to teach their girls and boys equally their common aspirations. We could also have programs about the rights of women, and also we received questions from our listeners. And therefore, through giving them advice and recommendation, we could prevent hundreds of forced marriages for minors. We could also give dignity to disabled people and also defend their rights in society. And also we could defend the rights of children. We could prevent long labor for children. And also we could propagate and promote these ideals and therefore have great achievements.
همینطور در راستای شخصیت بخشیدن به محلولین و محجوبین، دفاع از حقوق آنان در جامعه و همچنین در راستای حقوق اطفال و مانعت از کشیدن کارهای شاقه بلند از توان اطفال برنامه‌هایی را تحت نشر قرار داده‌ایم و دستاوردهای زیادی دست یافته‌ایم. از طریق برنامه‌های رادیویی ما پی به حضور کمرنگ زنان در عرصه‌های رهبری و تصمیم‌گیری شدیم. همچنین به خاطر سالهای طولانی جنگ، موجودیت عنعنات غلط و نادرست در جامعه باعث بیسوادی فقر زنان گشته بود و عدم آگاهی زنان از نوع کار و ارگان‌های کمک کننده از مشکلات دیگر زنان بود.
Through these radio programs, we also came to realize how lackluster the presence of women in the areas of leadership and decision-making was. And this was due to long years of war and also the customs of society. Because of the poverty of women, their illiteracy, And this was among the big challenges and problems of women.
به همین دلیل تصمیم به ایجاد یک شبکه دادخواهی از حقوق زنان را گرفتم و در 6 اپریل من شبکه‌ای را به نام شبکه دادخواهی زنان کندهار ایجاد نمودم که در آن 150 زن به صورت رضاکار عضویت دارند که شامل زنان بی‌سواد، خانه‌دار و از نهادهای مختلف دولتی و غیر دولتی میباشند و دارای کمیته‌های کاری مختلفی هست که برای حل مشکلات زنان در منطقه فعالیت می‌نماید، از جمله تقویت، رشد و حمایت زنان در عرصه‌های رهبری و تصمیم‌گیری که برای مثال می‌توان از تشویق زنان برای حضور در انتخابات 1393 و همچنین از افزایش کاندیدان شورای ولایتی از قشر زن را که اکثرا جوان بودند یادآور شد که این خود رشد زنان را در عرصه سیاسی نشان می‌دهد و همچنین با زیر فشار گذاشتن ارگان‌های دولتی اکنون حضور زنان در دوایر دولتی و غیر دولتی نسبت به سال‌های گذشته افزایش یافته است. یکی از مشکلات دیگر که امروز زنان دختران مؤثر و متعلم با آن روبرو بودند دسترسی نداشتن دختران جوان به اینترنت و تکنولوژی معاصر میباشد.
For this reason, I decided to start a network for seeking redress for the rights of women. And therefore, on 6th of April, I started a network called Kandahar Women's Network. In this network, there are 150 women who work as volunteers. These women include those who are illiterate housewives, but also those who work with the governmental and non-governmental entities. This network has different working groups which work towards the resolution of the problems of women in the province. Included therein their growth in society and also their protection in the areas of leadership and decision making. For example, I can tell you that we have encouraged women to have a greater presence in the elections of 2014, and also we can tell that there has been an increase for the candidacy of women in the provincial council, many of whom are young women, and this by itself shows the increase in the participation of women in the political area. Also, through exerting pressure on governmental organs, we have provided for the presence of women in the governmental and non-governmental organizations, and when compared to previous years, there has been a great increase.
آنها نمی‌توانستند به طور آزادانه به اینترنت کلاب‌های مردانه مراجعه کنند. به همین دلیل ما اینترنت کیفی را به نام ملاله میوندی در 25 سپتامبر 2013 ایجاد نمودیم تا با موجودیت یک اینترنت کلاب مخصوص خانم‌ها دختران بتوانند بدون ممانعت از طرف فامیل‌هایشان همه روزه به خاطر مطالعه ساعت‌های علمی و خبری به طور آنلاین به حل سوالات مشکلات در دروس مکتب و دانشگاه توسط فیلم‌های آموزشی در یوتیوب و همچنین با استفاده از شبکه‌های اجتماعی فیسبوک و اسکایپ با سایر دختران در ولایات مختلف افغانستان و خارج از افغانستان دارای ارتباط شده و این اقدام باعث تبادل ایده ها و نظریات بین زنان می شود. بنابراین در این زمینه ارتباطات ساختن زنان افغان را توسط شبکه‌های اجتماعی که نقش مهمی در تعیین راه حل مسائل اداره کردن تشکیلات و میزان موفق دختران در رسیدن به اهدافشان ایفا می کند را مهیا سازند.
One of the other problems that young women and girls have and also teachers is the lack of access to internet and modern technology. And because they cannot associate freely with men, they cannot go like men to internet cafes and use them. And therefore I decided to provide for a pocket instrument for receiving internet, and I called it Malali Mewandi. I established that on the 25th of September 2013, and I have decided to have a small internet cafe for girls and ladies in order for them to be able to have access to technology without any prevention from their families. They can have access to scientific and news networks. They can go online and also ask questions and receive answers. They can study through online sites, and also they can watch training and educational films on YouTube. They can also use social networks such as Facebook and Skype, and therefore they can be in contact with other girls in both that province and other provinces in Afghanistan and also outside of Afghanistan. And in this way, there has been an increase in the exchange of ideas between women. Therefore, the communication has increased among the Afghan women, and also this is one of the most important things which has happened, because nowadays social networks have a very important role to play in the resolution of problems, in teaching them organization and administration, and also in increasing their success in order to reach their goals.
در آینده نزدیک اولین شماره مجمله شازمانی که اولین مجله برای خانم‌ها در ولایت کندهار می باشد را به چاپ خواهم رساند تا وسیله دیگری باشد برای رشد آزادی بیان و دموکراسی و تبادل افکار، زیرا تبادل افکار منجر به رشد تمدن‌ها، نزدیکی انسان‌ها و پدید آورنده صلح می باشد. و برنامه هم برای 1 تا 2 سال آینده این است تا بتوانم اولین مجتمع فرهنگی، ورزشی و اقتصادی را نیز برای زنان ایجاد نمایم تا از طریق آن بتوانم هزاران خانواده و زن را از خدمات آن بهره‌مند گردانم. امیدوارم همچنین در قسمت رشد آزادی و بیان و 4 آزادی فعالیت نمایم. تشکر می‌کنم که با حوصله‌مندی به صحبت‌های من گوش فرا دادید و همچنین تشکر می‌کنم از بنیانگذاران این برنامه به خاطر تلاش‌هایشان و انتخاب من به خاطر دریافت این جایزه برای زنان افغان.
In the near future, I will have published the first issue of a magazine dedicated to women in the province of Kandahar. I would like, through this magazine, to provide another means for the growth and promotion of freedom of expression, for democracy, and also for the exchange of ideas. Because the exchange of ideas will ultimately lead to the growth and promotion of civilizations, will bring human beings together, and will be an agent for the creation of peace. My plans for the 1 or 2 more years is to be able to create the first cultural, sports, economic complex for women as well, so that through it women can use the benefits and the services of this complex. And also I would like to be more active in the area of the 4 freedoms. Once again, I would like to thank you to have listened to me so patiently. I would also like to thank all the organizers of this wonderful event, and I would like to thank you for having selected me to receive the award on behalf of Afghan women.